All right. So as you can see, Ansible is installed. Let me see what OS this is. I think I just checked it was Red Hat or at least 7.2.
Is there any way to record this?
It's
What you're doing?
recording. It's recording
Oh, it
right
is.
now.
Sweet.
All right. So let's go over here. Let me go back. I want to check something. Ansible 2.20. Ansible 2.21 just came out on the 16th. However, it's not in the Apple yet, so you have to download the source and build it from source if you want to, or you just have to wait till they put it in the Apple.
In the what?
In the Apple, so Red Hat has what they call the EPEL, and this
Oh,
is
okay.
like stuff that doesn't come in the standard core Red Hat stuff. So most people come to the Apple for things like Ansible. And Ansible isn't in the core of Red Hat; it's in their EPEL. So
Okay.
the EPEL is also used with Fedora, as you can see here,
Mhm.
and 64-bit and and a couple other people. I think Ubuntu even uses the EPEL. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Never played with Ubuntu. Maybe something similar to it though. They may have a
Yeah, with
package management
mm,
similar to it.
Get apps or something. I don't know. So,
Yeah, well, you got aptget. Aptget is their
oh,
package manager,
mhm.
and for installing new packages. And Yum is the package manager for installing and updating packages in Red Hat. So that's the similarities between the two. So let me look here. Let me go back to my thing here. Open up a window in basic. Let's do this command here. Oh, not that one. History, grep G Cloud. I'm using Google Cloud. And I just want to get a list of these instances again. Okay, I can go to instance 8. I don't think I have SSH set up over there. So the first thing with Ansible is you have to set up SSH keys. And so I'm going to check to see if I have SSH keys set up by doing an ls on /root. And I'm going to exit this root actually. I'm going to do an ls on my home directory .ssh. And I don't have SSH keys set up. So I need to set up SSH keys on my box. But I want to test something. Because I'm using Google Cloud as my example. DigitalOcean doesn't do this. Because I'm using Google Cloud, they automatically transfer SSH keys to the machines. So it may work from my home box. And when I say my home box, my laptop. And I'll give you an example of this. So we're going to SSH to that other IP address we just saw. This guy here. We're going to SSH from here. And I should be able to do it internally. And this should automatically put me on the box, right?
Mm.
So internally on this box here, I should be going to, because they're all on the same network, I should be able to SSH there. And I got denied. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And there's something hokey going on, but it's all right. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use my box as my Ansible deployment box. All right, so I'm on my Mac, and in Mac, on your Mac, your hosts are not under etc Ansible host. Oh, sorry, I know to cap that. I just want to read a file. This is me reading a file, and as you can
Mhm.
see, I had one set up before 10.142.6. So I just read my Ansible host file. Here is under user or something. Grep ansible grep hosts. There you go. Want this guy here. All right. So out on DigitalOcean, I had these two actual machines. But I'm going to leave those machines and I'm going to create, and I'm going to call this G-Cloud or GCP for short. And I am going to stick in and we're done updating here, the machines that I just grabbed that were alive. So I'm going to grab this machine, instance 8 and instance 5. I'm going to stick their IPs out here. And I can do a number of things. I could actually put in the host name here, but I would have to put an alias inside of my host file on my box. But I'm just going to use the IP address. All right. So we now have inside my Ansible now knows and is aware of these machines. So last week I showed you guys how to do a ping on these. So just remember I did in here what I called it. I called it GCP. So when I do my ping here, I think I destroyed some of these. Let's see, that's the do web. Let's see, this is DigitalOcean. That's going to fail, but one is still up. The SSH is denying on that one. Okay, that's fine. So now let's do my up arrow, and I'm going to do GCP. And I'm going to ping. It's probably going to, it should be okay because I've already been on those machines. So as you can see, I'm successful with that. Okay. Anybody got questions so far or anything of that nature?
No.
I know it may be going fast for you, but you can roll it back when I get done. So, all right. So the next thing now, what I want to do is I want to set up free IPA on here. Now I could do this one of two ways, right? I could do a yum install free. Let's do this. Let's do a yum search. Yum search. I'm on this instance. Free IPA, and it may actually be called something else. Yeah. So it's called IPA. Yum search IPA. Yeah. It's called IPA Server, I believe. And when it gets installed, it's called, the actual package name is free IPA. But yeah, it's called IPA. But I don't want to install IPA on using the command line of me connecting to this box, right? I want to install this by me actually being hands free, like hands off of this box. So that's what we're going to do here is we're going to be hands off on this box, and we're going to install that IPA server. So out here in the land of GitHub, I have a Women in Linux Ansible, and I'm going to grab this guy here, and I'm just going to clone it. Let's see, where am I at? Alright, so I am going to git clone this guy. Oh, that directory already exists. Okay, cool. Alright, so you guys can do the same thing on your box. You can clone this. And the one I'm going to use is actually this IPA install.yaml. I don't think it's up to date. So we're gonna make it up to date tonight. Okay, so let's start over some basics of this file. So you don't have to use Vim like I've been using. You can use other editors. Atom is one, and I'll post this link for you. You can use this because it has numbers or whatever. And the other one that you can use is also it's called Sublime. So you can use that guy there. All right. So those two you can use. I'm just so used to using Vim, and there are other editors, Nano and Pico, but I'm just so used to using Vim that I just continue to use it. So, but I'm giving you options.
Mhm.
So inside your file that you create your .yaml file and YML file, .yml file, what we start off with for this particular file is 3 dashes at the top. That's the markup language way for YAML. And then the next one, everything is concerned, everything is sensitive here. When I say sensitive, I mean you can't have your dashes off centered. So let me go to Ansible's site, and let's go look at some Ansible examples. Let's just look up VMware, just so I can show you some documentation here. All right, so as you can see how they have everything lined up here, like this is the module, VMware Sphere is the module, and then under that module, I have all these options. Or the documentation shows you exactly what your options are. It tells you that you need to have at least 2.6 for Python. You need to be see the newer version. So this came out in 1.6, but your Python needs to be here. You need to have PySphere, and it tells you like right here where it says required. You must have a guest. You must have a password. Get rid of that. You must have a guest, you must have a password, you must have a username, you must have vCenter, and so forth. So those are the type of things that you must have. And you can look at each module and then it'll tell you what you need. So I just want to give you a good idea, an example of how the structure looks, hence why my file looks like it does. Okay. So in here, when you do a name, let me actually back up. When I do the host reads that if you're on CentOS or if you're in Red Hat, it's the etc ansible / host file. It reads that file, and that's that file that I set up before, where I put in GCP and I put in do web. That's that file.
Okay.
Let's look back and get Ansible. And then let's grab for host again. You crazy. Oh, maybe because I spelled it wrong. I spelled it right. Okay. This guy. So in here I got GCP. So I'm going to change this to GCP because that's what we're working with. We're working with the hosts that fall under the GCP host. And those hosts are those two that I put in, instance 5 and instance 8. So we're going to put in GCP. The become, that particular module says, hey, when you log into this box via SSH, because we've already exchanged keys, I want you to become root and then do these tasks. So that's what it's going to do. But for what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how this module right here works. So that's setting up a cron job. This right here is backup. We created a file. When I run it, it's going to create a file. It's going to store it. It's going to look in a file in etc. So let me give it a file. Create a file in etc and destination temp etc. Yeah. We don't want to do that. Let's get rid of that. And then we don't want to do the cron job. We want to do simple stuff. Here we're going to do, hey, Yum is my package manager. For you that are using Ubuntu, aptget would be your package manager. So you would do, instead of Yum right here, you would type aptget. So you would
Right.
do, you would line up and you would type apt-get. And your colons don't have to line up, but your indentation of where everything starts at does. And then you would do the name equal to. And take it one step further, you can do ansible apt-get example. And then come over to here. Let's see, that's installing. Let's see if they have it where I can just click on it. That's Stack Overflow, but that'd be fine. Yeah, name. Oh, they probably just use app, but let's make sure it's not apt and not apt-get. It may be just apt instead of apt-get.
Okay.
So let's double check that. Let's go back. Let's do this. Apt module. Yeah, that's what we want. So let's hop down to examples. Yeah. So it's name and it's apt, and then the actual package you want to install, and do you want to be present. It's the same as you do for Yum. So you can go back up here and you look at required. Down the center here, you have parameter, and then you have required. And you look here and you'll see that you don't see anything that say yes. So, and like for me, for VMware, everything, some of the things said yes, that's required. There's no requirement that you need, so you can kind of play around. So you have the name, and then the present state. There's the state. So the state could be latest, or you can do absent, meaning remove it, or present, meaning install it. So that's what you get there. All right, so let's go back here. I want to do, I was just showing you here, so let's delete that line. I'm doing get, and I want it to be present. And then I went one step further to show you that inside my Ansible script, I could just clone my repo. So let's get my repo that I just downloaded, and let's put it on this box. Let's erase this because that's not the repo that I want. Put that repo there, and then let's put that repo inside of it's gonna make this. It should make this direct. Let's put in a /op. All right. So for all intents purposes, we should be ready to go. Get rid of any white lines from me. All
Can I
right.
ask you a
So
quick question?
yeah,
Why would you be cloning your repository? Like,
I'm just showing you an example of
oh, okay.
just how to clone a repository from Git, just in case you wanted to do one. We're just really
Oh, okay.
walking through Ansible. After we walk through this part, then we're gonna go and actually do the free IPA stuff. But
Thank
I
you.
just want to show you how Ansible works first. All right. So for all intents purposes, inside the /opt, I should have a clone of my repo, and I should have Git installed. So I'm gonna hop on these boxes first though, because I want to show you some stuff. All right. So let's look at what the IP addresses of these boxes are, which we have right there. We're gonna hop on these boxes. All right, let's clear that. Let's sudo up. And Ansible puts everything in var log messages. All right, so let's get everything scrolled off this screen here. All right. All right, so now all I do now is I do Ansible dash playbook, and the playbook I want to run the commands on. And inside my playbook, I don't have to, because I have the host specified in my playbook, I don't have to specify those hosts. So let's minimize this down here to that. And then we'll come over here and minimize this down so you can see it live and in action. And what's going on this box is actually going on 8, or should be. All right, so we can see it kicking off. You see at the bottom down here, it logged in on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, you can see my task is running. It's saying that it did a yum install over on one box and it changed on another one. That lets me know that on this box, Git was already installed on 187, but on 88, Git wasn't installed, and it cloned the repo. All right, so let's go over here to slash opt, and there is the clone of the repo. And so let's go over to the other box, which is this guy here. Oops, I need to miss my 8. And if I sudo var log messages, oopsie, not sudo tel -n, the last 10, you see it when I did that yum install of Git, the Git information, that's what it did. Those are the actual RPMs that install. Shirley, you had a question? Does anybody else have a question? Is this okay so far? Did it make sense what we just did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we know that we're actually getting to the box. We're installing packages. One thing I do know that I need to install IPA Server. So how do I know that? It's just because I've been doing it all the time? Yeah, pretty much. However, if you don't know that, I'm going to tell you how you can find that out. So the best documentation anybody I could tell you to follow is to follow the Red Hat documentation. I encourage you to go to redhat.com, because their documentation has been pretty on point in terms of what you need. And DigitalOcean has good documentation as well too. And if you guys ever feeling fancy and free and you want to write documentation, you can write documentation for DigitalOcean, and they pay you anywhere from $50 to $250 per document. So that's another quick way to earn some money. So, feeling fancy and free, make some documentation for DigitalOcean. However, back to this is you come in and you log in here. And as you can see, I'm quite on here quite often. Go to customer portal, scroll all the way down, and then you will see at the very bottom product documentation. And we're gonna come over here and we're gonna select Red Hat Linux. And then, I may have to go back. Let me go back, because I may need Identity Manager or something like that. Let me see. I think there's a separate one for that. Containers, customer portal, virtualization, storage. That's a satellite server. We're going to get into that this year as well too. Let's go back to here. If not, I know exactly what to do. I just want to show you where you can get the identity manager. Here's the sysadmin guide. No, so let's go here. IPA Red Hat documentation. Look at it, automatically come up for me. Okay. And this documentation is very in depth. So my word of advice for you, if you're gonna ever play with any of the Red Hat stuff, because it's bitten me a couple of times, is twofold. Read the documentation first and then apply what you read, or go through step by step and read the documentation. But really, I would want to say read it first, because some of the stuff is like, okay, we're gonna bring services together, or we're gonna do relationships, and you're like, I don't understand what all that stuff means as you start getting into it. Like, you know, you start installing the IDM server, but you don't know that you need to do all of this first, right? So I don't have a DNS host set up, so I'm going to have to trick my box into thinking that this server actually exists out in the real world, and it really doesn't. So we're going to trick it that way. So this is the only time I'm going to do this hands-on. So let's clear here. And I need to do this on both boxes. We're going to sudo up to root, and I am going to go into the host file, and this is needed for the install. And I'm going to let this box know that it's this. Now they have this set up as it. I'm going to see if this is going to work. We're just going to take that line and add it to here. Because we came in on the 104 IP address, it may recognize it as the 10.128, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. And so we need to do this for instance 5 as well. Was I on 88? Was I just on there? Oh, I might have did the wrong one. Let's see. Oh, that was it. That was 8. So let's go here. 188.187. Ah, you don't like me, huh? Oh, 196. Alright, so let's sudo up to root on this one as well. And I am going to play with the host file. So here was 187. So let's grab this guy. Oh, that's awesome. Alright, and then I'm going to grab all of this guy. Alright. I'm only doing this because I don't have DNS set up. If I went through and set up a DNS server, and we should do that. We should set up our own DNS server and so forth or so on. And even if it's just a caching DNS, which is part of the RHCSA class to get certified as well too. That's part of the exam. So we should do that. All right, so basically we have set up our DNS, and inside of here, that's one of your requirements is to have DNS set up. Because I am on Google's servers, I don't have to worry about NTP. Those servers should have NTP. NSCD usually gets turned off. I'm gonna give you guys this link and let you run through this after class, so you can give a good shot at it, and we can discuss it in Slack And if you guys don't have our Slack invite and so forth and so on, please let us know. It's a lot of useful information in there. Tune can tell you there's messages after messages, information after information, from scholarships to jobs to speaking engagements that you can, that if you want to speak at a conference, to whatever. Like, it's whatever. It's whatever I can get my hands on. All right. So here, installing IDM. So this is where we want to start. So as you can see, this is what they tell you to start off with. And then they go into, like, ports and so forth and so on. But in our Ansible script, we're going to start with just the basics here. All right, let's grab that little line there. All right, so let's clear this guy. And let's go back to my playbook. Now, in my playbook, I can leave all that stuff there because it's just going to do it again. And let's do this. Let me show you this. Set NU, set numbers, set the lines. So let's go here. And over here in inside of, let me show you the difference that I see. If you notice, you see down here in this column, down here at the bottom, down here at the very bottom, you see I'm lined up at 0. When I hit space, you see the column and everything changes. I don't get that luxury inside of, and then maybe a terminal setting that I need to set on my terminal in Mac, but I don't get that same luxury. So I'm eyeballing this, so it may be a little off, but we're gonna find out. If I just do straight down, it should be okay. So we're gonna do a dash. We're gonna name this. I'll go back up here and name this as well. And when I say name it, you're giving it a description. So in here I could say installing, actually cloning, git repo. Here we're going to do an install of the IPA server. And then you come down, you make sure it's lined up with yum. And the first thing you want to do, we got the name. And I don't remember everything, so let me go ahead and just paste that so I can see what I'm doing. So it's name equal to IPA, and then state, I want it to be present. The next one is name colon install bind dynDB -LDAP. And then you don't have to be that detailed, but I'm just that way. And then you do name equal to the actual, oh yeah, and I need to install bind too, so I need to get that one. And the state is present, and then name. And my rule of thumb is 3. I always tick it off 3 times. You can use tab if you feel more comfortable with tab. So let's do installing bind. And then here, I'm going to just do a yum. Oopsie, yum. And then name equal to bind. And the state is equal to present. All right. Then I'll delete that. So does that make sense to you guys? Did that make sense? We're just doing a package install, and we want to make sure they're present. Now remember what we discovered before with packages. We can go back here. We can do a yum module Ansible, and you can go back and look at Ansible module, and you can scroll down here, and you'll see that let's go down to present, the state. The state it's not required. However, the state can be present. It can be installed. You can check to see if it's installed, the latest, absent, or removed. Those are the things that you could check for. Let's see, do they have, like, okay, you notice the difference. When we looked at app, they didn't have any requirements, but name is a requirement under Yum, if you notice that. All right, so for all intents purposes, we're installing the packages for IPA. So let's right click that. I can do my up arrow and I can run my playbook. Now, if a syntax error, it's going to tell me. No syntax error. All right, let's go over here and look at var log messages. We're going to look at it in real time. So it should, in var log messages, it should show up that's in the packages that's installing, and any dependencies as well too. You can do it. After this, then we'll walk through what we need to do to install the actual server. Like, we install the packages for the server, but next we need to install the actual server itself. And as you can see on the right hand side, it's installing the packages. And then we didn't have to touch our server. We didn't have to touch our server. I could read the log files. I could get a copy of the log files and run it back to me on my current machine. So it's just now doing the IPA stuff. Remember, we had 3 packages we had to install. We had to install IPA, we had to install bind, and we had to install the bind, I think it's bind LDAP. So it's 3 packages, and we're just on the first one. And it's going to do this for this machine and then the next machine. So while that's going on, let's look at our next steps. So our next steps are, we're talking about the network time protocol, which you can use NIST .gov, or it's time.nist.gov, time.nist.gov. You can always point to their machines. Come on, you can render really quickly. You're slow tonight. That's not normal. So it's still, well, it finished one machine. It's going to the next machine to do just that. All right, let's look up time. Okay, I don't have a machine. I don't have. All right, time NIST. Yeah. So you can use, time.gov is now, but you can use their servers as your NIST servers, or as your time servers. All right, and then it needs Kerbals because that's what we're using for authentication. Apache, SE Linux. We can check to see, by default, SE Linux should be turned on. You can do git enforce to check that, and it's in enforcing mode. I'll pull that up there so you guys can see that. You can see it's in enforcing mode, so it is on. And then the Active Directory sync plugin, we're not using that tonight, but it treats itself as a certified authority, and you can treat itself as its own DNS server. So if you didn't want to have an external DNS server, you can have this as a DNS server. Your IPA server can be a DNS server and an IPA server. But here's the meat and potatoes of what everything we need. So as you can see, it talks about what your IPA admin password is, the host name, the domain name, your password, the kerbals, the RAM. All of this can all be automated, and we're going to automate this tonight. Instead of us doing an IPA server install, and then we have to walk through each one of these and answer these questions, we are not going to do that. we are going to automate this install. All right. So let me see. Am I gonna need? I can still do this KNet admin. So silent non-interactive installation. This is what we want. All right. Let's see. Let's look at this because they didn't expand this, and this is actually okay. There it is. All right. They got host name. They passed the password, and I want to tell you that this is all wrong. I want to say that, but it may work because I didn't have to do this with free IPA. I did do a -u, but let's see something here. Free IPA automated. Well, let's see. Non-interactive install. Scrap this little guy stuff here. I think he is the one. No. Let's look at this guy. And let me check my servers too, by the way. It finished. So I can do a RPM-QA grep for bind because that was one of the ones that had to be installed, and you can see there's that bind there and that other bind. And as you can see, I don't have any errors on my on the left hand side here. I don't have any errors saying anything. I was able to install the IPA server. I was able to install bind and bind DYN DB LDAP. All right. So our next test, and also remember that the clone get repo, it just saw that it was there. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we checked, we did that already. So it didn't clobber it like sometimes things would. It didn't clobber it. So let's go back to our playbook. So we got this stuff installed. You can also write comments in here by just doing a # and saying, hey, this is the next steps of installing non-interactive free IPA. That's what we're doing next. And then I tick off, I count off 3 ticks, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna put space name, installing. I should say hands free. That's what I really want to say. Installing free IPA. All right. And now here's where we're going to differ. There is a module inside of Ansible called Ansible command module. And the other one is Ansible shell module. Okay. So let's look at the command module. The command module basically lets me come in and I can say, I can do this. Let me show it to you better and I can tell you. I can just say command and I can say cat etc. Well, you don't want to do a cat. You want to do something that you can render back over SSH. Well, I guess you could render that back over SSH. Let's see. Let's try it. etc motd. All right. And let me cat etc motd over here. Nothing in there. So let's echo something there. Literally something into etc motd. All right. And let's run Ansible. All Alright, it didn't like that. That means something's not lined up. Alright, so we gotta line up some stuff. Alright. What's not? Oh, it's not lined up. I can look at the intel. You see it? That name right there is off. I mean, that name is on. This one is off. So I need to line that up. Alright. Let me clear that so we can get back up to the top. And let's run that again. Remember, I literally echoed something into MOTD. It should run through this pretty quick because that stuff has already been done. Okay, as you can see, it didn't echo back out to me. Let me see. I called it installing free IPA. But as you can see, even still, it didn't echo back out to me. So that's the thing with some of these commands. If you just want to get some information, like let's do this. Let's get time. Let's do this. Let's undo that. Sorry, didn't mean to do that far back. And let's just do date. And it should return the date. That should work. Let me clear that again. So it's up at the top. Run the playbook one more time. And this is just using the command module. And then I'm going to show you the shell module. So let's see what the differences are. So you see the command module takes the command name followed by the list of space. Okay, so basically you can chadir, you can do whatever. So you could do like, look, see, it says let's run this. Let's see MOTD and register MOTD. What does register mean? But let me go back over here and see that other one. Did it run? Did it give us? See, it didn't give us anything. Let's try this one. Let's go with the register thingy. Command and register. What was that? My MOTD. Alright, let's go back to the file. Oh, it's register. Did I do it the opposite way? No, I did it right. And MOTD. I don't know what my MOTD is. I wonder if that puts it in a file. Let's double check something here. One thing we have not checked is, let's do an ls. I wonder if it's going to store it into a file. Let's find out. We should at least get one answer because I put it inside of here. Oh, you know what? It shouldn't. Hold on. Don't do it just yet. Let's run you again. Oh, I called it. I didn't echo anything into here. Hold on. And then I'll check the file locally as well too. All right, so let's clear. Let's do ls. Well, yeah, I don't see a file. I don't see my register, so I'm not sure where it's storing that at. I'll have to double check what this register is actually supposed to do. I'll double check those for you guys so you can see that. All right, but the other one is shell. All right. So shell looks like it returns values. All right. So let's change that. The same one we just did, right? And let's just change this to shell. We can delete this instead of command. Let's change that to shell and then run it. Is everybody following along so far? All right. How is class for you? All right, let's look at this. And I'm still not seeing the file there, but at least you know the difference. Like the shell should be echoing out information. Okay, no problem. All right, so let's move on. You saw the differences there. And let's get the IPA server before we get ready to get out of here. All right, so we want to install the IPA server. Yeah. I'm looking for the absolute command that's going to give me where I don't have to answer these questions. And I may have to run with what I saw earlier, but I know there's a shorter command, and I just have to find it. Okay, he did that. He ran a playbook. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So you look here, you can see he did IPA server install, and did that -u is forcing it to be unattended. And then you have the -r, the -p, the -a, then set up DNS and forwarding and so forth and so on. All right, so I know for a fact he's missing some stuff here. And I don't think it worked. And I have it set up where I had it to work at work. All right, so let's leave that there because we may have to come back to it. Let's try this guy. And when all else fails, you do IPA-server install --help. I'm doing that on the box itself. All right. So, all right. I know for a fact that I need the RAM name, the domain name, the -p, and the -a. I need all 4 of these. Okay. Oh, and the host name. I want to give it the host name. And I can give it the IP address. I may do it by IP address. So I'm not going to set up DNS because I'm tricking it. I'm going to grab these things here. The rest of this I don't need right now. Okay. And I am going to put this inside of a text file for right now. All right. All right. Now I'll put this off onto my other screen here. All right. So now let's clear. Let's go into my playbook. All right. We played around with that guy. We don't need that guy no more. 1, 2, 3. All right. Name. Installing IPA server-install. All right, and let's do command. All right, and here we want to do IPA server install, and we're gonna do a -u because we want to force it. We want to do and I'm gonna pull this up for you guys back up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to minimize that down just a little bit. All right. So then I want to do -- host name. Yeah. I'm hesitant on that. Let's. Oh, we'll do for one of them. That's what we'll do. And this is instance 5. Instance 5 is 104. So let's do instance. Let's do host name. It shouldn't be just instance 5. I know that's not the fully qualified domain name. I want to go with this here, even though it's dot. Let's try it. I'm afraid it won't work, but you know what? We're living on the wild side tonight. Okay, so we're gonna do instance 5. I don't think that's gonna work, but you know, because you gotta have a domain name and stuff. So I really should stick with this guy. All right. And oops, where you go? We're right in here. We're back in there. All right, and then the next thing I want to do is the RAM. Well, the RAM is usually this all capitalized. And I'm going to see if this is going to work. So -c dot desktops dash women in Linux dot internal. We are gonna see if this works. Oh, sorry. -n. We're working now on the domain name. Well, that may be the domain name. C dot desktops dash. No, women.linux. Desktops.women in Linux may be in this case, the domain name. And then the -p is the password. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. You'll thank me later. Let's just do password. I can destroy this anytime. -a will make it the same. You don't have to. For convenience sake, I am making it the same. I should put this inside of, let's put it inside of single ticks for clarity purposes. It will error out on me and let me know if it don't work when we start running it. All right, and last but not least, we don't want to make the home, but we do want the IP address. So let's do -p, and the IP address that we want to give it. It's -- IP address. Sorry. It's that 104.196.188.197. All right. Let's see if this works. And what I want to do is one other thing. I want to limit the host that this runs on. This is a new parameter. So ansible limit hosts run. So you can limit to just the one machine that you want to do it on. So let's see, that's ansible gathering facts, a host group. Okay, so here I can do ansible dash limit and then the host. Alright, so let's limit the host. Let's run this up here. And we're going to dash limit. And the host is 104.196.188.187. Okay, so we have some syntax errors. So that means this is not lined up and it doesn't look like it. So you can see, yeah. All right, what are we having problems with? Is it because it's running off the line? It may be a wrap. Okay, so I may have to do this. Come on. I want to get to internal, and I may have to do this part here. So it knows to continue. Let's see if it complains. So it doesn't like that. Oh, I know what it is. I think my command is supposed to line up with this. Let's see. Okay. Let's get rid of that little line that we just put in there. This is what happens when you don't do it first inside of a text file and then come here and do it. We're almost getting there. Let's see if we can get this back up on the one line. It should be okay, but you know what? I may have to put it in double quotes. Yeah, I may just do that. Let's do Control A. Oh, you don't want to go back to the beginning of the line? Control A should have took me back to the beginning of the line, or home should take you back to the beginning of the line. Instead of me holding the parentheses here, the arrow. So let's do this, and Control E should take me to the end, but we are in a Mac. Yeah, not liking me. Alright, you guys just wait till I get to the end of this line, because I forget that the shortcuts are in the Mac to get to the end of the line. Any questions so far, or anything of that nature? You can raise your hand if you have to. Alright. Let's see. Alright, yeah, I had to put it in quotes. So we limit it to the one machine. And remember, we can see what Ansible is doing by doing a tail on var. Okay, you see it errored out on me. Alright, command install blah blah blah. Alright, so let's see. Let's grab this command and see where it errors out at. Let's grab it. Let's put it here. Let's come up here and actually get rid of this -u and see what happens. Okay, install server. Oh, IPA server install. Options. No options such as IP addresses. Probably not, because it's got an extra S. Alright. For all intents and purposes. Let's just get rid of this and see what happens. Okay. No, okay. So it's looking at the internal. So that wouldn't work for the external. So we need to use this guy. What do you mean? On 10.142.0.5, that is the IP address, but I don't need it for what I want to do. See, this is the part I was talking about. Do you want to configure bind DNS? So we need to add that to our script. So let's Control C. And you could see it was called Setup Bind DNS. No. So let's go back over here. Let's do IPA-server install help. And it asked about DNS. -- setup DNS. I think that's when you just want to add it, but we don't want to. Let's do that too. Let's add, I want to add this. Let me show you what I'm going to add. -- no host DNS. And we need to add no DNS. Let's go back here and let's do you want to configure integrated DNS? And we don't want to do that. So let's figure out how we say no to that inside our script. And then let's add free IPA to narrow our search. I'm sure someone has that. It's the same guy. -- setup DNS, and we don't want to, because that takes us all out of our RAM. I wonder if we can just say -- setup DNS equal to no. Let's try that. I can put it right here. -- setup -DNS equal to no. Let's put that in that. Okay. Not set, but set up. Oh, it doesn't take a value. I wonder if it's set. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see what happened here. DNS resolution host instance .c.file internal. As you can see, is looking for that requires IPA Server DNS package, and that's what I was trying to avoid. This is the stuff I was talking about here. Trying to avoid setting up DNS, because I wanted to look at the host file itself. So that's what we have in here. So it should look internally into itself. So let's find out. Setup as DNS, no free IPA. Okay. Okay. I don't remember the command off the top of my head. Sorry, people. Oh yeah, insert depot. This website is a good website as well too. And see, they just walked through the whole entire install, answering the questions. And as you can see, it's kind of long. And I want to automate it. Let's go to Red Hat stuff. Let's see. Installing without a CA. That's with DNS. That's with integrated DNS. We don't want to do that. Okay. Setting up DNS 9. Yeah, that's with the dash setup again. We want to get rid of that. Let's look and see at the top of their file here. Installing IDM, silent, non-interactive, and then the replicas, and then the clients. And that's what we're going to do after we do this. We're going to do the clients. Let's go back to the silent one. Let me grab this guy. And let me put him on in text edit. Let's see. Text edit. Okay. I'm cutting and pasting. And from what I see, it's just the -A, the host name, the -R, the -P, the -N, and the -U. That's all I see. So I'm going to grab that and clear and go. I don't want you. So IPA-A, that's not what we want to use. As you can see, that's the RAM. I'll have to erase that, but as you can see, they don't have anything in here with the DNS stuff. So we should be okay. We can get rid of the dash. Let me put that back up on a text edit again. But yeah, I can just go here and cut and paste. That's what I said. I was like, this is just long. -A. I may need the -A. That may be. Oh, I got it. The host name, the -R, the -P we have, and the -N. Do we have a -N? Yeah. We have everything they have. Let's get rid of host name. It's the only thing I see that's different. Cut and paste that. Let's clear that out. Actually, I should have got rid of host name before I should cut and paste from somewhere else. I have to learn what is the command to get back up to the beginning for it on each Macs. Hostname. Right here. Scared of that guy. And it shouldn't matter, actually. But hey. Oh, yeah. Okay. Warning, DNS resolution. No usable IP address provided. Let's see. IPA-server install --help. We saw IP address. See, IP address is equal to, yeah. I wonder, does it need to go in front of the -p? And this one is what? Oh yeah. This guy. This guy. This is his IP address. It doesn't like that option. What am I missing, people? Did anybody see anything I'm missing? Clear that out. IPA-server install --help. If not, we're gonna run it via command line. No biggie. I just want to do it in IPA. In Ansible. Yeah, -- IP address equal to that. Well, whatever. So basically, what it would have done is this. And I say no. And I say yes. And I say this. Let's just take the default and pass in the password that I had set. And then same thing again. And your Ansible script is the automation of it is going to take care of this. That's so you don't have to sit here and do this. 10.142.0.5. Please provide the IP address to be used with the host name. We can enter. So it doesn't like that. So let's do this. And this is the problem with IPA when you don't have, okay, it doesn't like that without the blank, when you don't have DNS set up. And see, it took the domain name as the whole thing, and it took the RAM as everything from the C on. I wasn't sure about which one it was taking, but now we know. All right, so now it's 10 dot, what did I say? 142.0.5. Please provide, that is it. And yeah, it doesn't like it. No usable IP is clear. Let's do an IPADDR. Am I right? Yeah, that's the IP address of it. And I don't think it's taking the global one. We'll try that one, but I'm sure it's not. All right. 104.196.188.187. Yeah. Please provide the IP address to be used for this host. No network matches the IP address and the net mask of that. Yeah. That's the problem that I thought I was going to run into. Either way it go, whenever it gets installed, you'll have a nice little shiny little toy. You log in with your username and password that we just created, and then you can start, adding hosts and so forth and so on. In terms of what this is, Google Cloud. Let me do something real quick. Let me go to DigitalOcean. Let me log in. And look at my droplets. Alright. Let me see, said the blind man. I got a droplet to play with. Oh yeah, that ansible droplet. Which is this IP address. Alright. Let's try it on this guy. If I remember the password. Haha. Alright. Oh, you're dead. Awesome. So we have the DigitalOcean one, right? Which is 104.236. Alright, let's run it on that guy. Let's clear. Let's do a yum install IPA server. Actually, we need to do all of that. You know why? Because we have our file. We have our file right here that's going to take care of all the stuff that we need to do. We just need to change the host name. And the host name is here. You have to make it a fully qualified domain name. They're so picky about it. Yeah, so let's do 104.236.29.171. Let's call this ansible 1.womeninlinux.com. Okay, clear. I think I figured out why the other one didn't work. Because its host name is this. So I had to type in this. I had to grab this guy. and then say, yeah, it does. Sergio, I have to say host name is this because I want it to be in the running config when it runs. All right. So here we're gonna change this guy to this, and then this guy becomes this. The name now, is that the name or is that the domain? That's the domain. That -n was the domain. The domain is Women in Linux. And the password should be fine. The IP address, I don't know why it doesn't take that, but we're going to change that to this 104.236.29.171. Alright, when we run this script, when we run the playbook, we're going to say ansible playbook, and the playbook is IPA Install YAML -- limit, and we're going to limit it to the IP address. Oh, wait a minute. One thing. I need to change this to DO web because I wanted to pull from those hosts. Okay, you're doing something funky. So let's grab this guy. Oh, my bad. Alright, it errored out somewhere. Let's find out what happened. Setup. You don't like that guy? Alright, so history, grab ping. So let's do an ansible. We'll do web -m ping -- limit equal to that guy. Oops, no, not that guy. And you guys get a chance to see troubleshooting in action. I know it's fast though. I know. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to do -- limit equal to. Is that what it was? Yeah. So on my end, yeah, -- limit equal. Oh yeah, I didn't do it equal. Well, what's the problem? Oh, okay. I know what the problem is. Do you know what the problem is? I know what the problem is. So on this box, oh, it is a Tamika on here. So why is it having problems? Well, let's see. sh- copy. Yeah, you was able to get on there. So what is your problem? Shared connection to blah blah blah. Oh, sudo password. Okay. Let's go to this guy and comment him out. And see if he still works. I may need to go in and add sudo because it may and it may not work. Let's see. See, need to be sudo. So in here, I need to go to sudoers, and I am in there, but I am going to pass it the no password. You probably can't see it here, but let's go here and do no pass WD colon space. So let's get that in there. All right, that should take care of that. Yeah, that took care of that. That should continue now. So I'm gonna tell -f var log messages. You see it's installing. And now it's doing the package install of the IPA stuff. Then it's going to go through and go to the next stuff. So how is this class for everyone? I know we're over our time, aren't we? Well, just barely. Well, how is this? Did this make sense for you guys? Like, you know, I'm trying to get it to the point where you don't ever log on to the box. And this could go for your Cisco routers. You can do this for your SAN storage, the whole nine. Using Ansible scripts, they have a lot of modules. Once we, like I say, once we get done with Ansible, we'll do Puppet, we'll do Chef, the whole nine. I'm trying to get it to a point where you guys can sit at home and automate your installation of your entire infrastructure from kicking off a bare metal machine with Puppet and applying modules, Chef, the whole nine. Well, yeah. I mean, it's all new. It's not even a review. It's just you're just gonna stumble and learn as we go. I think that's just really what it is coming to class. I'll post this on YouTube so you guys can follow it. Follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel as well. You'll get a chance to see some of the classes that we went over last year, and also the conference that we did as well too. I'm gonna start recording right now. Well, I'll let that fly. Hold on, so you can see. But the recordings that are up on YouTube right now, we had to get to 100 people so we can get women in Linux. So we're always pushing, like we barely made it. All the support we can get helps. But if you go to my videos, here's the podcast as well as the conference information. Some of it's not hasn't been released. I need to release them. Some of them I haven't released, but they're there. All right. So it's still doing the IPA server. And you see it's a lot of stuff that goes with this IPA server to get things up and running here. And going through that. And then another thing we want to do this year is we're probably going to have one-offs. And when I say one-offs, I mean like we're going to have, hey, come talk to a Google engineer or a Puppet HR person and so forth and so on. About speaking or how to interview and so forth and so on. We did that last year. We'll do it again this year. Also, I posted jobs from Amazon inside of our Slack. Hopefully, we can get them on to do a hiring event like we did for Puppet last year. We're trying to get at least 5 members set up for the hiring event from Puppet, to Amazon, DigitalOcean, and then just various companies that I can, anybody that I can get a chance to hop on. Startups as well too. We're trying to get them on as well too. So be on the lookout for those things. Again, join the Slack if you haven't, because that's where a lot of information goes down. I pass out a lot of information from data science to automated cars. We're probably gonna start doing some data science stuff as well too, some machine learning as well, just to give you an intro on it, to get you, looking at what's going on in, the world in terms of machine learning and so forth. So we got a lot of stuff, and that's gonna involve some Python. So I'm working on building out the Python class now, so you can go from beginning of Python to machine learning. So we're one of the books right now that you can use. You can download it for free. Is Python the Hard Way. You can download that book. I'll shoot this over to you right now. See where we're at on this install. Oh, there we go. Here we go. This one we're looking at. This one you want to see errors. All right, all right, all right. It didn't like my little command, but it aired out. It got further along than what I thought it would do. Let's see what happened. I bet you it stopped because it didn't have the -u. I bet you that's why it stopped. Oh, okay. It looked like it's up and running, but it's gonna fail on me. But you know what? We're gonna find out. Where's that DigitalOcean one? We don't need it. We could just go here. Oh, I did pass the -u. What I'm talking about? Yeah. One other thing to check. When all in doubt. Firewall not on. I think it takes some time for it to come up, but like I said, I didn't think it fully installed. But it says it did. It says it did. Let's go back. What is that error? Yeah, it went through. C8 runtime error. You know what? It didn't have enough memory. It takes more than 512. And now you know. You need to at least have a gig or two. So that's why it failed. So it would have worked. But it didn't have enough memory.